What is up, guys? Belamy Prime here, and welcome back to another episode of Prime Survival. It is a brand new day in Minecraft. Well, not quite, it's almost the middle of the day now, but nevertheless, brand new day in Minecraft and a brand new day for Prime Survival. And we've been away for a couple days, so I've haven't made an episode in about 5-6 days now. That's fine, I've been busy doing other stuff, but nevertheless, while I was away, I've been thinking about what we were going to do upon my return, and I thought we'd go for a little bit of a swim. And when I say swim, I don't mean dipping our toes in the water over here a little bit, just going for a bit of a leisurely dive. We're going to be trying to raid an ocean monument, or a sea temple, ocean monument, sea monument, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be calling it one of those things today. I haven't exactly decided which one sounds the coolest yet, but I think we're going to go with ocean monument. I think that's what they're technically called, but nevertheless, we're going to be trying to find ourselves an ocean temple out in the ocean somewhere, and we're going to be raiding it. So that's today's goal for this episode. And before we do that, we got a few preparations we have to do. So the first things first is we need to kind of nail in the location of the sea temple that we want to raid. And the easiest, simplest way to do that is to get yourself a cartographer, villager, and purchase yourself an Ocean Explorer map from them, and then use that map to locate yourself a sea temple. The trouble is for me, however, is we actually, very luckily for us, we actually have a sea temple right out there in the water. It's actually just slightly out there. However, I don't want to raid that one today because it's extremely luckily close to where we're raiding, to where we live. And I want to kind of make it a bit more difficult for myself and find an ocean temple that's a little bit further out of the way. So what we're going to be doing today is we're just going to be kind of flying randomly with our elytra, and hopefully we'll find ourselves an ocean monument, because they're pretty simple to find just by flying as is. But we're going to have to do a few preparations before we end up going and finding our monument, because when we're raiding it, we're going to want everything that can help us. Now, the first thing that we're going to be taking with us is a few potions, because there's a few potions that can kind of enhance our capabilities, and there are a few that are going to be extremely useful when raiding the ocean monument. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some water bottles, which you just saw me make, and we're going to fill them with water, and we're going to take them back up to our house up here, and we're going to do a little bit of brewing, a little bit of alchemy, and make a couple potions. Now, I'll most likely do a entire video on brewing and alchemy in the near future, but for the time being, we're just going to brew ourselves some basic potions to help ourselves with our raiding. Now, this is a brewing stand. If you want to make one of them, you simply take your crafting table and you'll place 3 cobblestone at the bottom and then a blaze rod above it, and you'll get yourself a brewing stand. Very easy. These ones I've just kind of stolen from our villages and from other locations, so I didn't actually have to craft them. And you power a brewing stand with blaze powder. Now, so you can throw the blaze powder over in here, which is going to power it. You see it'll fill this bar up. And we're going to go ahead and take 3 of our water bottles and throw them in the bottom of the stand like that. Now, nothing's going to happen because we haven't chosen our ingredient. Now, the first ingredient that we need is a Nether Wart, and this is essentially going to prepare these bottles for the potion that we're going to make. So it's going to essentially just slightly alter the water. You can see right now it's just a simple water bottle with no effects, and using our Nether Wart, it's going to prepare it for future brewing, essentially, and it's going to turn it into an awkward potion. So when this upgrades, there we go. We have an awkward potion. This grants no effects. If we were to go ahead and drink this, it would do nothing to us. And yeah, that's perfectly fine. Now, in order to make a potion of water breathing, we need a pufferfish, which we have left over from a couple episodes ago when we put some pufferfish in the village river, and the golems weren't too happy with that and they beat them up. Never mind that. We're going to go ahead and brew this pufferfish into our potions here, and this is going to give us a potion of water breathing, which obviously raiding an ocean monument underwater is going to be very useful for us. So once this one's brewed, we should be able to see our 3 potions of water breathing here when it's ready. There we go. Alright, so we have a potion of water breathing, and this one will last for a total of 3 minutes. Now, 3 minutes is not super long when it comes to swimming around underwater, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to take some redstone dust and throw it in the window. And what redstone dust does in this situation is it essentially powers up the potion, extending the duration of it. So it will go from 3 minutes up to 8 minutes, and then we'll get 8 minutes worth of water breathing when we drink it, which is perfect. So there you have it. We now have 3 potions of water breathing that will last a total of 8 minutes. So let's go ahead and put those in our inventory. And we're going to go ahead and brew some potions of night breathing. Sorry, night breathing. Who am I? Night vision. Now, we're going to do the same thing. We'll take a single Nether Wart and throw that in the window. That's going to prepare our water bottles for brewing or further brewing, potion making. Now, the ingredient that we need to turn these awkward potions into a potion of night vision is a golden carrot. So we're going to throw that in. If you're not sure how to make a golden carrot, you can either find them in certain places, treasure-wise in the world, or you can take a normal carrot and surround it in a crafting window with gold nuggets, and you'll get yourself a golden carrot, like so. And this is going to give us three 3-minute long versions of the Potion of Night Vision. There you go. So Potion of Night Vision, it grants us night vision. That's great. And we're going to go ahead and throw a redstone dust in there as well to extend these up to 8 minutes like we did with our Potion of Water Breathing. Alright, so there we have it. There's our 6 potions that we're going to use for today's video. What I might do is I'll go ahead and really quickly make another 3 of each of these, just in case we happen to run out in our little bit of an exploration today. But I am going to go ahead and put these ingredients away, and I'll sort that all out, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we went ahead and made a couple extra potions of night vision and water breathing. We have our total of 5 of each in our inventory, and another 3 of each in our ender chest that we can take with us in case we need that. And then what we're going to do real quickly before we leave is we're going to do one last thing, and that's grab some buckets of milk. So you can see I have a bucket of milk here. I can just go ahead and drink this, and that's well and good. I can go ahead and collect as many as I want from our cows here. And the reason why we take these is because there are some negative debuffs or effects that are going to be most likely stricken upon us at the Ocean Temple, and we really want to be able to remove them if we need to. So as an example, I can go ahead and show you guys how that will work. So I can take our Potion of Water Breathing, and I can take a Night Vision potion here. I can go ahead and drink the Potion of Water Breathing, and you'll see I'll get a buff at the top right hand corner of my screen. If I close this here, you can see I have 8 minutes of water breathing, and I can go ahead and drink my Potion of Night Vision, and we can see, even though it's almost turning to night here, a little bit better. And drinking a milk bucket will actually remove all effects that are inflicted upon the player, whether good or bad, whatever it may be, but it will protect you, essentially. So you can see it still looks like daytime because we got night vision, but we have monsters spawning. And I'm going to go ahead and drink our bucket of milk here, and there you go. We have got rid of our night vision and our water breathing, and that's all good. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these glass bottles because I don't mind littering on my house when the rubbish is going to just disappear and clean itself up later. And I got a couple extra milk buckets here. I'm going to go ahead and bring them with me. I'll leave this milk bucket here. I hear a zombie. I hope that's not inside my house right now. That would be very unfortunate. But so let's go ahead and just let's check real quick. He's not in here, is he? Might be at the front. Yeah, that's fine. I can hear them somewhere, but I'm assuming they're outside. I don't want them coming inside right now, but the last thing that you really want to prepare or make sure you have before exploring an ocean temple is the appropriate enchantments. Now, Respiration 3 is going to allow you to breathe underwater for much, much longer. That's really great. However, we're going to be using potions of water breathing, so they won't be super necessary for us today. Also, we have Aqua Affinity, which is going to allow us to mine faster underwater. And then we have Depth Stride at 3, which is the max rank of that. That's going to allow us to swim a little bit quicker underwater as well. So that's really good. All 3 of those are going to be extremely useful for today's episode. None of them are necessary, however, but if you want to make this a little bit easier on yourself, it's definitely good to go ahead and bring them. We're also going to bring ourselves a couple doors. So I have something, there we go. I have 22 oak doors. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and bring them along with me today because they're actually going to be a little bit useful for something that we're going to be doing. So now that it's nighttime, we're going to go ahead and go for a bit of a fly because spotting ocean monuments from the sky is actually much easier at nighttime. So I have an ocean monument that's actually quite close to our compound here, but I'm not going to be raiding that one today because it is super conveniently close to our compound, and I don't want to raid it. I'd rather save that for raiding later on and using it for a guardian farm, which is this one here. You can see I've marked it with a bit of an acacia pillar here. But what we're going to do is we're just going to have a little bit of a fly around in the ocean kind of aimlessly here, and with any luck we'll find ourselves another sea monument or sea temple out in the open here somewhere, but sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. But it is nighttime, and they are quite lit up underwater, so if we're lucky, we'll be able to spot one while flying above it. Alrighty, so we flew for about 30 seconds here, and we found ourselves another ocean monument. And here we are. Wonderful. Looking good. It's a pretty fancy looking ocean monument. Not that that means they look any different. They actually all look exactly the same. But nevertheless, that's our ocean monument, and we're going to be rating that today. Now, that little overlay that we just saw is one of the reasons why we brought ourselves a bucket of milk. Hello, friends. Alright, of course, I didn't think that you guys... Alright, we're going to have to deal with this creeper here. Let's go ahead and bust him up. Alright, let's go ahead and light this little island up here real quick, just so we can talk freely between ourselves before we go ahead and raid this ocean monument here. So there we go, nice and lit. Alright, perfect. So this is what we're going to be raiding today, and you'll saw that we got debuffed with mining fatigue. Now, the three guardians that reside within, elder guardians that reside within this temple that we're going to hopefully defeat today are going to debuff you pretty consistently with mining fatigue. This is so essentially you cannot just mine straight through the temple and dig through all the walls and discover it all extremely easily. It's kind of to encourage you to explore the temple the way it was meant to be explored and have to swim through instead of just digging through all the walls like a crazy Minecraft player you are. So that's how that works. We can go ahead and actually remove this with milk if we wish. So I can go ahead and drink some milk here and that will get rid of it. However, the Elder Guardians actually apply that pretty regularly, so if I was to go ahead and get in the water here again, it's most likely that they'll go ahead and debuff me again, and it'll stop me from mining once again, so that's unfortunate, but it is a cool kind of mechanic that forces you to kind of experience the underwater temple the way it's meant to be experienced. Now, before we go ahead and go in here, we're going to explain why we brought doors. Now, if you're wanting to raid a sea temple or an underwater monument without using anything like water breathing potions, or you don't even have respiration 3 on your helmet, you can use doors as a kind of go around. Now, the way that you use this is if you're swimming, yay, having a good time, and your breath starts to decrease, you can go ahead and place a door, which will create a kind of air pocket. There we go, we got debuffed again. But you can see there's kind of an air pocket around this door. So I can go ahead and place the door and this kind of plonk myself within this air pocket, and I can get my breath back to full. And you can kind of use this to kind of navigate your way through the temple, placing doors as you go to restore your breath and do it that way. That's if you want to do it super early on in your experience. You don't have to worry about making potions of water breathing or night vision. Not that you need night vision either. But you get the idea, right? It's a pretty cool go-around way of exploring the temple without using potions. But today, we're not going to be slumming it with doors. We're going to be using ourselves some potions of water breathing and night vision. And one of the reasons, other than the fact that we want to be able to see in the dark, that we brought our night vision potion, is because if we use our potion of night vision first, we'll be able to, firstly, we'll show here, we'll be able to see underwater quite a lot better. But we'll also be able to tell when our potion of water breathing is about to expire. They have the exact same duration, so essentially when our screen starts to go dark because our potion of night vision is expiring, that means that our potion of water breathing is about to expire as well. So we have our night vision for 7 minutes 40 seconds and our water breathing for about 15 seconds after that. So let's go ahead and jump right in and let's head down here and start raiding this monument. Now, these guys that you see swimming around out the front are called Guardians. They are kind of squid, fish, little blocky boys that are going to attack you if you go too close to them. Okay, so explain these guys. Alright, these guys have a channeled attack that they will use on you that you can see when they're kind of charging you up with these kind of bubbles. You can see these guys are all going to aim at me with the bubbles, and if I kind of let them attack and get that off, it's going to deal damage to me, and it's going to hurt quite bad. Now, first things first, I'm underwater now, so I do not need my elytra, so I'm going to go ahead and put my chest plate on, and that'll protect me a little bit better. But if you want to avoid these guys, you can obviously fight them and kill them, or you can just go ahead and line of sight their attacks. So this guy, if I want him to, there we go, we just hide, and his channeling attack gets cancelled. And that's kind of the best way to deal with these guys, because there's quite a few of them out here. We don't really just want to swim out and start attacking them. So we killed one there, and you'll notice he dropped Prismarine Shards and Prismarine Crystals. These are building materials or crafting materials that can be used to craft bricks, like these ones you see around us, which are Prismarine bricks and different of sorts. And they're very pretty. They're very nice to use in the overworld, in up above the water and things like that for building materials and such. They're quite pretty, and I really, really like them as a building material, so I'll most likely collect a little bit of this before we leave today. But let's go ahead and start exploring, because like I said, there are 3 Elder Guardians, which are bigger versions of the Guardians we saw outside, that we want to defeat today in order to kind of liberate this temple. Oh, and just as I turned the first corner, we saw one. Alright, so this guy that you see back here, that big kind of white and purple guy, that's an Elder Guardian, and they're a little bit more dangerous than their regular Guardian counterparts. Now, you can see he has spikes that he kind of deploys, and when he has those spikes deployed, he has essentially thorns. So that means if we attack him, he will deal a portion of the damage back to us. So you want to be careful. Now, we're going to go ahead and swim at this guy and attack him, and hopefully we can finish him off. He shouldn't deal too much damage to us because we are wearing diamond armor. Let's go ahead. So you can see, if I'm attacking him at this close with his spikes out, he's going to actually retaliate and hit me back, and these guys are doing quite a bit of damage to me. So I'm going to go ahead and swim back in here and recover a little bit of HP, because there's some actual guardians near him as well who are going to be hitting me at the same time. Now let's wait until my hunger goes down a little bit more here so I can stock up. I can actually go ahead and... Oh no, that guardian doesn't want anything to do with me. Alright, we're full health. Let's go back and see if we can't finish this guy off. He should be pretty low by now. There we go. We finished that one off, and oh my god, no wonder I was taking so much damage. There's 4 regular guardians here as well. Goodness me. Alright, so that Elder Guardian, he dropped us a wet sponge and some Prismarine Shards and crystals. Goodness me, leave me alone, you guys. Too many of you, so just ganging up on me. I can actually go ahead and take out my bow here. And, goodness me, I'll just line of sight these guys. Go ahead and mess these guys up from a range a little bit. Yeah, no, it's not going to work too well underwater, is it now? Well, we can... Here we go. Boop! Ah, yeah. Alright, there we go. So the regular Guardians, and I do believe the Elder Guardians as well, have pretty similar drop tables. The regular Guardians won't drop wet sponges, but they will also drop raw cod, which can be nice, especially if you make a Guardian farm, which is something that we'll definitely be interested in doing in the future of this series. But let's go ahead and swim a little bit further through the temple and explore a little bit more here, and see if we can't find the 2 remaining Guardians that are going to be around. So I can see there's some Guardians flipping their tails through the wall here, so I know there's something going on the other side there. Alright, so we already see another Guardian, Elder Guardian up here. So he's a little bit in the open here, and there's most likely going to be quite a few Guardians around him. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just swim at him and kind of take a couple hits here. Let's see... Get a couple in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to swim a lap around this to kind of line of sight everything that's charging up an attack on me. And then we're going to go ahead and get a couple more swings in and do another lap to line of sight everything. Eat a steak. Let's do one more lap just while we're healing to kind of line of sight everything. And then we're going to go ahead and try and finish this. There we go. Finished him off. Got another car. Oh gosh. To so many of these guys. Alright, is there a direction up here? Yep, let's just go ahead and swim away from those guys. Now you can see why Depth Strider is going to be very useful in raiding one of these places, because being able to swim quickly around and navigate your way through the temple is very, very useful. And where are we going here? Alright, so it can get quite confusing, but we're trying to make our way upwards, because more likely than not, the final Guardian is going to be close to the top of the temple. So if we have any directions up here... Here we go. Alright. Doesn't look... Oh, yep. Here we go. Alright. Can we get any way further up here? Doesn't look like it. This place can get a little bit confusing. Now, what I could begin to do is just take these doors that I had and kind of place them in areas I've already been, kind of as a way to determine that I've already seen this area and I should no longer explore it once again. So let's go ahead and put some doors here. And this is kind of just similar to the torch strategy that we use when exploring caves. If you go ahead and place torches around, you can obviously tell that you've been to that area of a cave, and you will... It kind of helps you navigate a bit better. And I have quite a few doors, so I may as well use a couple of them to kind of show the locations that I've actually been already. So I believe this is where we came up earlier to see that other Guardian. Can we turn here? Yeah, so this is where we fought that other Guardian. I'll place a door there. Now I really want to get through past these guys and kind of up in this direction, I think. So let's go ahead and get out of here, guys. So you'll notice that when I attack the Guardians, they actually don't want to stay and fight immediately. They want to kind of get a little bit further away from you and attack you from range, which makes perfect sense. They're ranged attackers. So we're going to go ahead and let's place a door here, and let's try and get around here. Now, this is where I came in before. I'm going to try and go down this time. Place a door there. Where? Oh gosh, this place is a maze. Alright, so tucked away in these two little columns here, so we have these two little columns, tucked away we have a sponge room. Now, these are going to be very useful in the future because sponges, as their name suggests, can be used to absorb water, like a sponge should do, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and break some of these. However, the problem is we still have our mining fatigue, and as I look, our night vision is about to expire, and so is our water breathing. So what we could do is we could drink a bucket of milk here to get rid of the mining fatigue, and then really quickly mine some of these and get the sponges until our mining fatigue comes back. But we have to be careful because we don't have water breathing now, so we are susceptible to drowning. However, what we can do is we could go ahead and just place some doors down and get some oxygen back that way. So I'm going to try and get as many of these as I can before we get hit with the old mining fatigue once again. But if we keep getting hit, we might as well just take our water breathing again and then explore the rest of the temple, kill the last guardian, and then come back to this. But if it keeps up, it looks like I might just be able to grab all of these sponges here before we have to leave. Alright, so we're about to run out of air. We're going to go ahead and place the door down, stand within it, and there we go. We get all of our air back there, and we got hit with the old mining fatigue once again. So what I think I'll do is I'll take one more bucket of milk. We'll swim over this pillar up to these sponges here, drink one more time, and then we'll see if we can't really quickly grab all of these sponges as well before we get hit with the Guardian's mining fatigue one more time. Alright, wonderful. So we got all of the sponges. It means we can go ahead and use another night vision potion and another water breathing potion. And let's go ahead and night vision potion first, and potion of water breathing. Perfect timing. We just got cursed again with our mining fatigue. That's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and throw these water bottles away. I don't want to carry them with me. And we're basically, from now, let's go get rid of this water bottle. I want to stack this up here. Now we just got to go ahead and find that last guardian. So I'm going to go and swim up. There we go. Looks like we found him. Hello, sir. No wonder I could hear you. You were nice and close to us that whole time. Alright, doesn't look like there's any guardians kind of hitting us in the back here, so I'm just going to go ahead and commit. There we go. Alright, we killed the final guardian of the temple, so we should no longer be hit with the mining fatigue. That means that once this one expires in 4 minutes and 20 seconds, we should be good for the rest of the duration that we're in this temple now. Those guys will not respawn. The guardians themselves, the base ones, will constantly respawn, so there'll be a consistent flow of those guys for us to deal with in here, but we will no longer have to deal with any elder guardians, nor will we have to deal with mining fatigue. So that's really good. Now, there's one more thing that I really want to find within this temple, and that is the central room. Alrighty, here we are. We made our way into the central room. There's quite a few guardians in here, so I want to be a little bit careful. But we can see that there's this big kind of giant box here. And firstly, these kind of bright square blocks that we see here are actually sea lanterns. They're actually a wonderful source of light that you can use in any of your builds. I love to use them in builds because they just look incredible. And they're very kind of neutral in terms of color. They're mostly white, cream with a little bit of blue. And they're just good in most builds. So we can actually go ahead and grab them with... oh god, there's some guardians hitting us. We can actually go ahead and grab them with our Silk Touch pickaxe because they will break like glowstone if you do not use Silk Touch. Get out of here, dude. Alright, so I can go ahead and grab them, and yeah, we got a sea lantern. Great. I'm probably going to collect as many of them as possible. Now, I'm about to run out of water breathing and night vision here, so I'm going to go ahead and use 2 more of them because we've got a little tiny bit more stuff for us to grab here. Oh, can I finish this here? There we go. I'm going to get rid of those bottles. Alright, guardians, back off, will ya? Leave me alone. I want to get your loot. Get out of here. Alright, so if I go ahead and dig down here into this dark prismarine, we can find ourselves a little bit of gold. And by a little bit, I mean quite a lot. There's actually 8 full blocks of gold in here. And yeah, of course I'm going to take them. I actually have one extra block of gold that I collected on the way to the sea temple, but ignore that for the time being. So for now, we have ourselves a little over a full stack of wet sponges, which is great. We can actually go ahead and smelt them in a furnace and turn them into dry sponges and use them to actually drain up large areas of water. So that will be very, very useful in the future. We have ourselves some stray prismarine blocks, dark prismarine, and yeah, just some prismarine crystals and shards. We have some raw cod from all the guardians we've killed. We also have some gold blocks and some other wonderful stuff, which is great. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that experience. We have successfully raided our... Can I get out of here? Goodness me. Alright, there we go. Now I basically just have to find my way out of this place without getting beaten up by... Oh, hello. Another sponge room. Alright, well, really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the rest of these sponges that I happen to miss, and then I'll meet you guys out at the surface, because we're pretty much done with this sea temple at this point. We've got pretty much all it has to offer for us for today. And we're going to go ahead and head back to our base, our compound, and put all of this loot away in our chests where it's nice and safe. Alrighty, so we're almost home now, and we're flying up over our sea temple that's close to our little compound over here with our acacia pillar marking the top of it. And we can actually see that with the night vision potion active, we can actually see through the ocean from the sky very, very easily. So if you ever want to do any kind of exploring, looking for stuff underwater, it's not a terrible idea to pop that night vision potion before you go, because you can see through the water very, very well with it active. And I still got a whole 3 minutes of it here, so that's super cool. Alright, so we are back home, and as I slam myself into the building as we land, we're going to go ahead and place... let's see what we got. So we still got a couple buckets of milk left over. That's fine. We got our wet sponges, and we almost ended up with a full 2 sacks in the end there after we found that final sponge room. Some gold blocks, some prismarine crystals shards, one sea lantern. I can go ahead and get more if I want. Prismarine bricks, and dark prismarine as well. So we got some building materials at our disposal if we wish to go ahead and collect some more of those if we go back out to our sea temple. And we also have some sponges if we want to, for some reason, maybe, who knows, clear out a sea temple and make ourselves a guardian farm. We'd have to drain all the water to do that, so the sponges will be very useful. All you have to do is kind of place them into a furnace like so, and they will go ahead and turn from wet sponges into, I believe it's a dry sponge, I would imagine, and you can use those to drain water. So let's go ahead and show really quickly. It's just a regular sponge apparently, not dry. Let's go ahead and let's take a little bit of water. Let's just go over here. Is there somewhere near this old village over here that we can kind of vacuum up some water? So if I go ahead and place this down, you can see it sucks up a whole bunch of the water, and most of it kind of came back because it just created new water sources. But if used correctly, you can use that to suck up huge areas of water and drain large amounts of ocean or rivers or lakes, whatever it is you want to do with them. And yeah, they can be extremely useful. So let's go ahead and pop that one back in there so it gets dried out as well. And yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and sort out my loot from today's episode, and I'm pretty stoked with how that went. We had a pretty successful raid on our underwater temple. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you would like to see in future episodes of Prime Survival. I'd love to hear you guys' suggestions. And I think in the upcoming videos, we may have in order some kind of guardian farm. Since especially we have a sea temple so close to our compound, it would be extremely convenient to kind of farm ourselves some prismarine materials, as well as maybe potentially make an experience farm out of it for our mending purposes. But nevertheless, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I certainly enjoyed filming it, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Prime Survival. Cheers, guys.